and welcome to you. I'm Hayley Palmer. It's so good to have you here with me on tonight's show, especially as we are joined by Americana country singer-songwriter Peter Donegan. And here is what happened when I caught up with him. Peter Donegan, it's great to have you on the show. How are you?
It's good to be here, Hayley. Thank you very much. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. We were just saying it's very warm here in the UK, which makes a change, doesn't it? Because you're usually out in the States, aren't you?
I am. I'm actually a Florida resident, and I'm
so
backwards
jealous.
and forwards. Yeah, it's a lot of frequent fly mileage, which is not always a good thing.
Yes, I bet.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a lot of backwards and forwardsing. But I get to travel more than most people, I guess. So that's a positive.
Yes, absolutely. Well, it's a real pleasure to have you here on the show. And we're going to go into the first song, Thank You, Texas. Now, this reached number 11 in the Heritage charts for 3 weeks and number 1 in the Hot Disc Top 40 charts also for 3 weeks. Now, that must have been a real achievement, right?
It was, and it was a shock because I had no idea that it entered, because it wasn't until Mike Reed called me up and told me about it, to which I was
love Mike Reed.
Quite surprised about. Yeah, we all love Mike. Mike's a lovely bloke. But that song, just to give you a bit of a backstory, was written at the Buddy Holly Songwriting Retreat in Lubbock, Texas.
Oh,
okay. Which there's a poster for it right there behind me. And then it's also, not only did it climb the highest for me in the charts, but I got some awards for it. Which was great. Wow. And you can see, they're actually stacked back to back, so you can only see one of them just behind there, which is the Texas Sounds Country Music Awards. I got male vocalist and also original song of the year for last year with Thank You, Texas.
Wow, fantastic. Well, we like that story, so we're going to play it out on the show. Yeah, right now. Here is Thank You, Texas. You're going to love this, and we will see you after.
Thank you, Texas, bringing me home. Hearts are blessed here and ready to roll. So before I hit the road, let's lift our heads up and tilt our hats. Thank you, Texas. Austin, 9 p.m., 5 hours to go. Headlights dancing down the blanket road. I was held by the southern wind and a blanket of stars. Lubbock bound, waiting on a Willie on the radio. Strumming along and I'm raring to go. Oh Lord, it's one hell of a band. Thank you, Texas, for bringing me home. Yeah, hearts are blessed here and ready to roll. So before I hit the road, let's lift our heads up and tilt our hats. Thank you, Texas. You're larger than life and I don't know why. Yeah, that painted sunset fills the sky. Oh Lord, I can't believe my eyes. Thank you, Texas, for bringing me home. Yeah, hearts are blessed here, ready to roll. So before I hit the road, let's lift our heads up and tilt our hats. Thank you, Texas. Texas, for bringing me home. Yeah, hearts are blessed here, ready to roll. So before I hit the road, let's lift our heads up and tilt our hit the road. Let's lift our heads up and tilt our hats. Thank you, Texas. I'm home.
Now I want to rewind, Peter, because obviously you grew up with music, your father being Lonnie Donegan, and I want to know, did you always want to be a musician?
I did, yeah. There was a brief flirtation with football, soccer, depending on what side of the Atlantic you're on. But that didn't last because my dad asked me, he said, because it was a scout looked at me for being a goalkeeper for Malaga football team in Spain. And and my dad said, this is all right, well, whichever way you want to go, you have to go wholehearted into it. He said, because you have to think, when things are not fun anymore, and you're going to take it like really seriously, which one are you still going to enjoy? And I was like, yeah, so music it is then. Right, good.
That's so true. That's good advice, actually. I like that. And when you were 18, you joined the Lonnie Donegan band. Tell me about that experience at that age.
It was surreal. It was squeaky bum time. It was many things, but it was really great because I knew my dad wasn't going to put me into something unless I was ready. So it gave me confidence in my own ability. So thank you, Dad. But it was also a band that was with my dad for 40 plus years. So they were like an extended family, really. So I was walking into a comfort zone, if you know what I mean. Or maybe walking into out of my comfort zone, but with a lot of support.
Yes.
So it was really, really good. And I learned a lot because playing in a band is totally different than playing on your own and doing your grade pieces. So it was great. I really, really loved it.
How wonderful. Well, I want to talk about one of my favourite programmes, The Voice, because I am a religious fan. I do watch it every week. I've got to admit it. Now, what was it like? I want to know that feeling when Sir Tom turned round. What was that thoughts that went through your head? Because if it was me, I'd probably be like, yeah, but you can't do that, have you? You've got to keep it together.
Yeah, no, the honest feeling that I had was, thank God. Because, I think as a seasoned professional, I've been doing it for 20 odd years, you tend to feel a little bit of pressure on you that, if nobody turns, it's like, you've got that bit of extra pressure. Whereas if you're sort of 17, you're starting out, nobody turns, you're like, well, that was an experience, that's cool, and you move on.
Yeah, so true.
There's more expectation the longer you've been doing it. But honestly, I was so tired and so nervous because I'd done a gig in Stockport the night before. Hadn't slept because obviously thinking about the following day, and I had to be in at 6:30 in the morning. And then rehearsing all day, vocal exercises all day, interviews all day where they try and get you emotionally charged up, And then you walk out onto the set, and I've never done anything like that before. So I was literally shaking. And you can hear it in my voice if you watch Bless the Broken Road, my audition piece. And then you hear it break eventually, because as soon as I open my eyes after I hit a high note, Tom turns, but I didn't see it initially. And I open my eyes and I see him turned. And that's when it's like you can hear my voice start to wobble, because I was that relieved and emotional about it. I was going to cry, and I was like, right, no, just get through the song.
Just keep it together. Yeah. and obviously it was a special moment when you sang a song that your father wrote for Tom. How did you keep that together? I'll never know.
Right. Well, like I explained, there's a video I put up on YouTube explaining the whole ordeal, just to give people a behind the scenes extract. And it's because you've got the pressure of, I turned to the band beforehand and said, guys, do you know this? Because Tom had asked me. And I said to the MD, David, I said, do you know this? And they said, well, we know of it. Not well enough to just do it. And I was like, right, okay. But he said, you can use my piano. And I was like, oh, okay. No pressure there then. And then I turned to Tom and I said, what key do you want to do it in? And he went, I don't bloody know. Because he's not a musician, so he wasn't quite sure. And I said, well, look, your original is in E. I tend to do it in D, the same as Dad. I said, I don't mind which way you want to go. And he went, well, I want to sit down. We'll do it in D. I said, okay, fine. So then, recap a little bit. We went over. And I think because there's so much stuff going through my mind, as in, do not bugger this up.
It's Tom Jones, yeah.
Yes, it's Tom Jones, it's TV. You can't point the finger at anybody else because it is just you.
There's so
You
much
know?
pressure, but just wonderful, and it must be such a special moment for you.
Yeah, I probably would have had more time to think about how it was and be in the moment a little bit more if I wasn't playing it, you know. But it did feel nice because, I mean, what you don't see are, because of post-editing, which you know all about, is that we did sing actually for all 3 verses and choruses, which is how the band knew to come in eventually at the end, because the song's only 5 chords repeated round and round, you see. So once they'd heard it the 2 times, they were like, okay, we get this. And they just came in for the finale, which was really nice.
God, oh wow, how wonderful to look back on that. And so we're going to go into the next song, It's My Dreams, which is just beautiful. Now, this is from one of your rooftop sessions, isn't it? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, this is another song written at the Buddy Holly Songwriting Retreat in Lubbock, Texas. I got there because I'm a scholar, so that was nice. And this is written with 2 wonderful co-writers in Sean Heelan of New Mexico and Tessie Lou Williams, who's from Montana. And it was just one of those days where, you know, you meet up with these other songwriters and it just works. We worked personally.
Imagine.
We were writing all day in a bank, believe it or not, because they were setting us up in different places around Lubbock. It was a bank that was designed by a lady called Melissa, who did all this wonderful architectural designing. It didn't feel like you were in a bank. It felt more like you were in a ranch. It was really, really nice. We did get kicked out eventually because we were laughing and screaming so much, saying some probably very rude things, maybe, I don't know. And it was probably not appropriate considering we were very close to their call centre. So
Well, it sounds great fun.
We had a wonderful time, so I hope you enjoy the song.
Yes, we hope you all enjoy it, and we will see you after this.
This dark hotel can't stand myself. Deep blue dawn, I found this song. It's my dreams that are keeping me awake. I can't take more than I can fake. Not this past regrettable mistake. A distant glow will finally show. It's my dreams that are keeping me awake. Can't take more than I can fake. Not these past regrettable mistakes. Take more than I can fake. Not these past regrettable mistakes. It's my dreams that are keeping me awake. Can't take more than I can fake. Not these past regrettable. It's my dreams that are keeping me awake. I can't take more than I can fake. Not these past regrettable mistakes. It's my dreams that are keeping me awake. It's my dreams that are keeping me awake. It's my dreams that are keeping me
Peter, I know you've got a lot of live gigs coming up. This is what we like to hear. I've got here London, Northampton, Blackpool, Liverpool, Texas, Chester. How excited are you for gigs to be back?
Oh, very. I mean, it's a bit of a seesaw time, you know, because a lot of people don't know if they feel safe going out quite yet, which I fully understand. Other people are like, don't care, I need to get out, you know. So there was some gigs I did last year in September when we had that brief sort of mini freedom, you know, and I found people that were coming out, just they didn't even know who was the artist on, they just wanted to get out and experience live music, and I don't blame them either. So no, it's great. I mean, gigs are slowly creeping in, you know. Some gigs which were postponed are starting to be reactivated, and I'm happy that when I go to Texas, I'll be actually there in person this time to do the Texas Sounds Country Music Awards again. And I mean, we're going back to the Cavern Club in Liverpool, which is fantastic. I've never been to Alexander's Live in Chester. We've got the Half Moon in Putney again, which we seem to be permanent residents of, which I'm not complaining about.
I've been there. It's good. Like it.
So it's, we've got some great gigs, and I will actually be on the bill this time at the British Country Music Festival in Blackpool.
Wow, just fantastic. Well, we're going to put details on the screen below of how you can check that out. I mean, I have to say, is there a favourite song that you like to perform live? Is there one that you just go, yes, it really works?
It depends on the crowd at the gig.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if I do, sometimes if it's a really intimate venue and they really like to really listen to something, then Little Man, for instance, which is written about my little man, because it's quite emotional and people are going to actually listen to the lyrics. But then that's not going to work at a festival, you know. So when I get there, then something along the lines of Shakin', you know, which is much more of what's been called, when they've said it to me, is stadium country, and I'm like, okay, I'll go with that. You know, or I've got another song which will be coming out on the new album called One More Bottle of Wine, which is much more country rock and roll kind of feel, you know.
It's a real crowd pleaser, like it. Well, watch out for that. Well, we're going to go into the next song, Bring It On Home to Me. A great version of this song.
Sam Cooke.
Yeah, I was going to say, what makes you choose these specific songs for the rooftop sessions?
Well, I mean, picking the originals is easier because it's like, okay, what are we doing now? Which ones do we want to expose? Which is great, you know. And then I always like to pick a cover because people want to hear alternate versions of songs they already know. I know I do.
I'm the
and
same.
I've always liked Sam Cooke. Always liked Sam Cooke. So I was thinking of something which could show a little bit of everything. So it starts off with that slow blues soul groove, you know. You know, if you ever change your mind, you know, down there. And then it builds it up to more of a, you know, an up-tempo rock and roll groove into a gospel outro. So it kind of goes through everything, you know. And I was like, can't go wrong with a bit of Sam Cooke. And if I ever chuck that in live, even if I'm doing a dive bar like in Baltimore or somewhere, you know, and maybe they're not listening because they don't recognize the original stuff, but you suddenly go, you start that song and they'll go, hey, Sam Cooke.
Yay! Oh, brilliant. Well, we can't wait to play this one out on the show. We will see you in just a couple of minutes' time.
If you ever change your mind, about leaving me behind, bring it to me, bring your sweet love song going.
I know that you have been recording a new album in the studio. Am I right in saying some are new songs and some we may have heard of? Give us all the goss. What's been going on?
Yes and yes, basically.
Okay.
Because obviously lockdown and the whole COVID scenario has put the mockers on a lot of things for a long time. Thank You Texas will be on the new album. It was originally meant to be the first single off the album, and it still is, just there's a big gap. Because we couldn't get back in the studio, that was the problem.
Yeah.
Thank You Texas, that version that you hear out there, was recorded 3 days before lockdown.
God.
So then we did everything, like all the post-edit stuff was done virtually. We couldn't get into a studio, and then with everybody trying to find alternate things to do during the lockdown, because obviously musicians were not available to get furlough. So a lot of us went to teaching and things, and online gigs meant our schedules were taken up. So what we ended up doing was we waited. We've split the recording into 2 sessions because we were that rusty coming out of lockdown and not playing.
I can't believe that.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I had rust coming out of crevices I didn't even know I had. So it was it was so bad. But I mean, not playing wise, it was just so difficult. It was like going back to the gym for the first time after 2 years of not going. It was so hard. My fingers were killing, my voice was killing. So we did 4 songs, and then we're going to do another 4 songs, and then some stuff we did actually get recorded during the lockdown. So we're going to put it all together in a big pot and stir it with a big stick.
So out of the 4 songs then that you've already recorded, is there one that we particularly need to watch out for? What's your favourite one so far? Again, putting you on the spot.
Okay. So Thank You Texas, you already know. It's My Dreams is going to be the next one, which I believe we've played already. Yes. And then after that one, there's a couple of songs which you haven't heard yet.
Ooh, okay. Well, we're going to watch this space, and do keep us posted when that is all out, because we can't wait to hear it. Then we're going to go into a little clip of you that I found singing with Peter Andre, and this made me very happy because I love Peter Andre. He seems like the nicest guy in the world. And really how did this all actually come about?
Right. Okay. It was shortly after The Voice, and a friend of mine, who helped stage manage and direct some of the events that I've put on, was actually filming a potential new TV show for Peter Andre. And I won't go into any more details than that. Needless to say, it was just for ITV. So they said, Pete, we need somebody to come on and just be the busker and do this kind of... And it didn't work out quite well because I'd just done The Voice. I'm standing on the street and people coming up going, "Well, you're on The Voice." And so didn't quite work the way we needed it to. But it was good fun anyway. And yes, Peter Andre is a great laugh. He
seems like it.
Still owes me a flat white, apparently, because he kept saying, "You're going to come around to mine and have a flat white." He says, "You never tried a flat white until you've had one of mine." I was like, okay. Still haven't been around yet, but...
Peter Andre, if you're watching, you need to be getting on to that flat white. He needs it desperately. Well, we're going to play out that little clip. You're going to enjoy this. See you after.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon will only light the sea. Something like that, yeah. I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me.
If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, yeah, the mountains should crumble into the sea, I won't cry, no, I won't cry, no, I won't shed one tear, oh, just as long as your people come and stand by me.
Everyone.
So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, just stand by me. Oh, just stand now. Yeah, stand by me. Stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me.
We've got some questions from some of our lovely viewers, Peter. Now, Sally wants to know, you were born in London but spent a lot of your time in America. Your own music has that country feel. Is that the heritage that you had growing up in America, do you think?
Yes. To keep it short, because where we were living, which is Lake Tahoe, California, my dad would frequently go and see like Willie Nelson down at, what was it? The name of the casino there on the South Shore. I forgot what it is now. I'll bring it up later. So, I mean, like the Family album, which was recorded there just down the road from us while we were living there, you know. And my dad had, you know, Willie Nelson albums in the house, Waylon Jennings stuff, Dolly Parton, J.J. Cale as well, which is not country, but it's down that blues, you know, stuff. It's a bit more obscure, you know. And I loved diving into Dad's old record collection and finding, you know, gems, you know, and that's how I learned to play all the left-hand stuff on the piano and things like that. Because that album by Willie Nelson, the Family album, I was listening to his sister play, was it Amazing Grace and May the Circle Be Unbroken? And I was listening to her piano playing and going, I want to play like that. You know, so that was the birth of it for me, that and Jerry Lee Lewis. Yes, living in America was a big thing for me because I was surrounded by it. You know, not just from Dad's collection.
Exactly.
But it was around me. And then when we moved to Florida, it's there again, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of that.
Yeah, like that. I hope that's answered your question, Sally. And Mark would like to know, what's been the absolute highlight of your career? Is there something that you just go, yeah, that's the one?
Right. There's a couple of things.
Putting you on the spot now.
Yeah. I suppose I'd have to put right at the top there would have to be performing with Tom on The Voice.
Yes.
I know people get offended by that. Sir Tom, sorry.
Sir Tom.
Yes. That was obviously a once-in-a-lifetime thing. And then after that would probably be... do you know what it is? It's going to sound on a completely different scale, but somebody, a fan, her and her husband wanted one of my songs as their first dance at a wedding. So, and I'd purposely written a song called I'm Yours for that reason. And when I got the email through saying, we love your song, could you be the first dancer? You know, would you like to come and play it at the wedding? And I was like,
wow.
Yes. So
yes.
we took the, was it 7.5 hour journey or 8 hour journey it took to get up into Northumberland to go and do it. But it was really awesome. I was looking at Phil, who plays bass with me and stuff, you know, and we were looking at each other going, oh my God, because not only was that a special moment, but we were doing Ode to a Friend and Superman and all original songs, and they were singing it. I was going, oh my God, this is crazy. You know, and it's such a lovely feeling having, you know, something that you've written be used for somebody's special moment in a moment that they are going to cherish forever, you know. So you're a part of that moment with them. Yeah,
exactly. Oh, I just love that. And Pat would like to know, out of all your songs you've written, what's been your favourite?
Oh, that changes on a daily basis. I hate them all equally. You have to understand that because I go through the process of, I've got an idea for a song. This is great. Come up with the chord structure. Wonderful. Write the lyrics. Oh, this is good. Oh, that needs changing. That needs changing. Okay, that's good. I'm not sure. Who's going to listen to this? Oh my God, this is absolutely rubbish. Oh my God. Actually, no, that's not bad. Oh, this is quite good. Oh my God. And round we go. And then the process of recording it. And then, needless to say, when we came to Thank You, Texas, that was written pretty quickly. But by the time it was then released and on the radio and stuff, I was in the kitchen with my boy Eric, who's not conversational yet, but needless to say, he found the guts to say this. I started going, I was going, thank you, Texas. And he went, no, finished. because you forget how much it is that we sing these things when you create them yourselves. Out of all the songs that I've written, I would say it's probably Thank You, Texas. It probably is Thank You, Texas. Yeah.
There we go. Like it. Well, we've got a question from Millie who says, well, actually a request. Could we play out Rock Island Line by your father, Lonnie Donegan? Is that all right with you?
I think it's a perfect request. I mean, because of how important it is. Everybody knows it changed the British music industry and it inspired the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, even up to Jack White from the White Stripes, you know. So, yeah, I think rock on with Rock Island Line.
Yeah, let's do it. Enjoy and we'll see you after.
I got sheep. I got cows.
We're going to go into your last song, Have You Ever Seen the Rain, which is an acoustic version of a Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Yes.
Now, you were really inspired by this band, weren't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, think of the things that they wrote. I mean, obviously that song, Fortunate Son, which is a great number. And then, I mean, depends on who you are, but most people wouldn't remember the fact that it's them that came out with originally Proud Mary, which is the huge Tina Turner hit. You know?
Yeah, love
and
that.
I'm not taking anything away from the Tina Turner hit. I think hers is probably the epitome of it. You know, it's absolutely fantastic. But obviously, with them being the original, you tend to look back and you go back through more of their stuff. And I do love a lot of their songs, and I like doing it because it was, part of my sort of living room videos that I was doing, because during lockdown we couldn't do like rooftop sessions all the time. We couldn't do live gigs, so we could do that. So it was just literally, I'm going to sit in my living room, sing you some songs. Here's what inspired me, and that is a big one.
Yeah, wonderful. We're going to play that out on the show now, but we want to remind everyone watching to get to one of your gigs. Again, we're going to put details on the screen below. Also, to check out the album, which will be coming soon, so watch this space. And also for Peter Andre, who owes you a white flat.
A flat white.
A flat white even, not a white flat. That's the one.
A white flat. Yeah, I want a flat all decorated in white. It's
been a long week, Peter. It's been a very long week, but we know what we mean.
Hasn't it?
Yes, absolutely. But thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to have you here chatting with us on the show. And we also want to mention Crystal Gale, who was a guest on my show. And you went on tour with her, didn't you?
I did, 2006. It was fantastic. In fact, that was when I went, you know what? Screw it, I'm going to do the country music that I love, because a lot of people had that sort of thing around country music at the time of it's not cool, you know. So I never advertised myself as that so much. But then after touring with her, saw the reception that she got, and it just reaffirmed that connection that I had with people in that industry as well. Because I mean, she was so sweet. The band were great, very
she's
supportive.
Lovely,
she even
isn't
got
she?
me. Yeah, she is. I mean, I was the opening act, which was wonderful. But then she pulled me up into her main set with the banjo so I could do Rocky Top, and I just thought, she doesn't know me, but she's welcomed me into the group, and here we are on tour, and I was like, I'm doing this.
Yeah,
I'm doing this.
Wonderful.
So thank you, Crystal.
Yes, we love Crystal. Well, thank you so much. I could keep on talking, but we're going to play out that song. But thank you, Peter. It's been such a pleasure today.
And thank you, Hayley. It's been a pleasure being here.
Thank you. It's Peter Donegan, everyone.
Hey.
Huge thank you, Peter Donegan, for being such a wonderful guest on tonight's show. And thank you to you at home for supporting the show. It really is very much appreciated. Thank you. I'm Hayley Palmer, and I will see you same time, same place next week.
Someone told me long ago, there's a calm before the storm. I know it's been coming for some time. When it's over, so they say, it'll rain a sunny day, and I know, shining down like water. I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain coming down sunny day? Yesterday and days before, sun is cold and rain is hot. I know, been that way for all my time, till forever on circle fast and slow. I know I can stop and wonder. I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain coming down a sunny day? I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day?